All right, we should be back right now. Apologize for that. Don't know really what happened. It was actually so that the internet connection just went down. And we thought actually it was the stream, the restream, but that was not the problem. This game ended 76-73, I believe, meaning that it was a draw. We will see if we can get Kalle back here, maybe for a short interview. They played, even though Yohann did use quite some time there, they did play really fast. So one of the faster matches here. Really sorry that we missed that kind of conclusion of this game when they were discussing would it be a draw or not. But we can confirm 76-73. Meaning that it's a draw here, as you need to have more than 5 points difference. All right, we will wait here until Elias comes back, potentially even Kalle. Very strange, all of it all. Okay, let's go over to this camera angle here. And we can see a bit more of Team Sweden and the other matches that they are playing. It's Sweden versus France. I think after the pairings, Team Sweden felt good. Then I felt that they also 1 hour into this match felt good. The latest report is that they are a bit more on the edge. So Kalle is going to be interviewed on the French stream. You can see Yohann here, who got a bit short, but still were able to crawl back into a draw. I think that was end of the game. Good performance. I think initially maybe he did some mistakes, lost the Nemesis Red Knight in his early second turn, but then Kalle did some fairly big mistakes, I would say, too. Here we have Sammy on the left side with the propeller hat. We have Jesper, who has a green hat here right now. We have Jonathan in the back playing on the stream, so you can go to the French stream to watch that game. You can also see in glasses facing this way, Matthias, and then behind head coach John Norman in the glasses with the bun in back. Also can see here Björn on the propeller hat. He has turned it around. That means that Carnex Rex has moved in. It's really warm. You can see him shaking off here. So it's a bit of a scout sneak and peek type of style commentating right now. But we do want to get in the results, and we do want to hear from Kalle what he thought of this match that was just played. We can actually put on some music here, just some chilled music in the background, so you don't only need to hear my voice. Or maybe not. It's always a bit of a bummer when we run into problems with things shutting down here. I guess we will just be stuck with what we have, and it might be so that we need to restart the stream to solve the sound problem. Apologies for that. Kalle did a draw 76-73. As you can see here, and the rest of the Swedes are playing. You can see on the French stream Jonathan facing with his sisters. I think that has been a bit of a, not only a bit, quite a bit of a challenge. All right. They're actually featuring the winner interview. Or actually not the winner interview, as he actually technically lost it, but you count up to 20 battle points instead here. Welcome back, Elias.
Hello.
Trying to play some music in between, but can't do that. Did you get any information on how it's going for Team Sweden over there?
It's tight. It's very tight. Maybe a slight advantage for France, but it's not done yet. There was a big swing apparently on Jonathan's game.
In which favor?
In Jonathan's favor. So.
Oh wow, that's good to hear.
Yeah, but it's not. We're not sure yet.
But I think it was really behind before that. It was rough.
Yeah, it was very rough, and then he managed to turn it around, and now it looks all right. Not sure yet. But it's very tight. Maybe a slight advantage for France, but there's still some time left.
Gonna see here. Maybe we can actually do a bit of hacks here to tune in and watch that game, even though it was not really prepared. Give me a few seconds here. Oh, actually, we can see quite a bit of more information here from the French stream. So let's see if we can tune into that one. It probably would be without sound, but I think we can have a possibility of looking at it. Give us a few more seconds here and maybe see if we can get it sorted. Okay, let's see how this one looks.
Okay, she will grenade, then she will sabotage.
Will be a bit messy, but should be fine.
Yes. Okay, let's think a little bit. I hate when it's not just easy.
All right, so we can see here that in total, Jonathan, as I understand, have 57 points.
Yeah, and the Sacco has 45, and this is turn 5. I don't know who went first, though.
Can see if we can get some sound, maybe.
I have a 6. And 4. Second pass 2. I don't think passing that one matters. He has to for that, because otherwise you kill me and consolidate to the objective. So I use the 6 here.
It probably is Sacco that went first. So this actually looks like Jonathan might win this. But we'll have to see.
Avec skill, avec talent, mais avec grâce. Et ça, c'est important. Et c'est grâce aussi à Atoll.tv. n'est pas que opticien, il est aussi visagiste et surtout, ils sont aussi habillés avec élégance grâce à leur maillot de l'équipe de France. Vu du ciel, il est très beau. Vue latérale, il est tout aussi magnifique. Bref, ils sont classe.
Probably we should have been able to solve the sound, but the reality is that we're having this sound problem because of the internet went down, which hasn't been solved, and therefore I think we can't solve it. Unfortunately, I apologize for that.
So here you can see the scores on the left side. Sako versus Jonathan, 45-57. Matt versus Sebastian, 48-56. Nicolas, which is...
Et on est à 3 victoires, une égalité et une lose contre la Suède, puisque la lose était en l'occurrence l'année dernière.
I mean, it looks like it's very, very even, but I assume that France is ahead in 3 games. Is that how we should read this one?
Yeah, it looks that way, yes. Let's see.
So Sweden might run into troubles here for their first loss, but I mean, there is almost 1 hour left, right, of this round. 44 minutes. But I mean, Jonathan is ahead and should win this one if this is the current standing, and that's still yellow. So maybe a couple of yellows can compensate for some red, for some green.
12 to 8, he needs to play his second turn. I should be around the 9. Me 9.
Donc Salésien annoncerait un 9 de son côté. Espérons que certains de nos matchs vont...
So just got an update from Yohann, the captain and coach of Sweden, and it's very, very close. Like, both teams are very nervous right now.
All right, so trying to understand a bit how this is written is... The first one, is it 45-57?
Yeah, so the left score is the French, and the right score is Sweden.
But I mean, that's a Swedish advantage. And against Matt, it was also an advantage.
Yeah.
Should actually have screen capped that one. Probably it's coming back in a little bit. But then I misread that one quite a bit, and it actually could look better for Sweden than this is done. I think it's like head coach Yohann Norman just came by and said that it's super equal and both teams are really nervous. This is a really important match as it is round 5, the 3rd day of WTC 2024, and France is the #1 team, Sweden #2 team, and they are facing off, and we're getting into the last 45 minutes here. We have been following. That must have been GG, right? Or how should we anticipate that one?
En tout cas, encore une fois, pas d'incident sur le 9 à 11 de la part de Salésien, notre joueur physicien qui vient d'affronter.
Okay, I'm gonna take a small screenshot of this one, to be honest.
And here is Kalle, so I will leave over my mic for a post-game interview.
Yeah, thank you so much. All right, so you can see the screen here. We're actually gonna stay on this one as we speak here with Kalle, who's coming in. Hello, Kalle.
Hello, Christian.
How are you today?
Oh, I am awesome. I am so good, I could never be better.
What happened in the match? Let's say from the beginning after the pairing, how did you and the team felt after the pairing process?
We felt good. We thought we had a small win. We paired into a small win, and we were supposed to play our points. And yeah, we try. Yeah, that's it. We're good.
It seems like the match is right now super close.
Yes.
I think maybe we can't say that Sweden has a small lead. I think it's actually so close that it's getting almost into the nerves.
Yes.
On your end, Thousand Suns, we know that you, in the previous match versus Germany, can we say got pretty unlucky with those Catan charges on your Magnus?
Yeah, it was a couple of things that happened that was unlucky. I mean, you can't really blame luck that much, but sometimes dice do be dice. And I got charged 3 times with 9 inches. It was the only 3 times I tried 9 inches. They all worked. And I could not stop his secret mission because he had a bottom turn against Hypercrypt. He just basically picked up his round 1, he picked up his Immortals, and then he had 2 targets in my entire army. My 2 Rubikai. If they die, he takes 20 points because I can't stop it. And then he banged a 9-inch charge into them.
And everything was rolling 6s, basically.
Yes, there was loads of 6s. But I mean, dice be dice. Sometimes that happens, and I could have, I should have won that game. Me and my opponents were in agreement that he thought he was going to get a 2 from that game. I thought he was going to get a 7. And then it just didn't work out.
Then it swings, and that's happened. So
it happens.
From that one, it was not a disaster, as your teammates actually picked a couple of extra points in that matchup. So you won against Germany with 2 points. Coming into this one and this matchup, once again you had to go first. I think Sweden has been a bit unlucky. Did that impact you too much? It didn't look that it was that bad, to be honest.
Yeah, well, I play Grey Knights as well, and I know what they hate is a strong presence on the board. So I just pushed everything up to the board and stood on objectives. I made a misplay. Basically, I had one objective that was empty.
Yeah.
I could have placed models on there, and I simply did not, because for some reason I was a bit stressed, I think. So I just...
Was that down in the right corner?
No.
Where you had your mutalisks?
Yes, exactly. And in that middle building there, right middle building, I had cultists. And they could just have stepped onto the objective. And you can only deep strike 3 inches in one place. And it deep struck, and it took the 2 other objects from me, leaving me with 10 points, primary round 2. It should have been, he left me on 3 points for 15. And that 15, that's my win.
Yeah, that's uncommon to see you making those mistakes, but the pressure is on.
The pressure
it is
on.
day 3, it is hot, it is in the afternoon, and today and onwards, not easy opponents.
Yeah.
But yeah, of course, we must say a bit unfortunate, to say the least. But at the same time, you took out the Nemesis Dreadnought on the right side there.
Yeah.
Did you feel that was a mistake on his behalf? It felt like he almost got a bit shook up.
I just killed it round 2.
Yeah.
No, he needs to have seen that coming, because I had 2 Mutalists and Magnus and Doombolts, and that just picks up. And it was also, he had taken 3 damage from what's it called? He takes damage on once when he shoots me strat.
Yep.
So he took 3 damage, he's down a couple of wounds. I Doombolted and I shot Magnus, that just picks up a Dread Knight for sure.
And because I felt from that point, and with your push, you pushed really hard on your right flank, you took out the Nemesis Dreadnought. He, in his second turn, I don't know what, but for me it felt like an hour. In reality, maybe it was 20 minutes or 30 minutes, but he was taking his time, replacing, rethinking. I think one of the Nemesis Dreadnoughts took like... It was basically all over the board a couple of times before he made up his mind. And you could see the pressure on him.
Yeah.
And then when you came into your third round, it felt like you were in a commanding lead. And then you guys got into a bit of a conversation around the intent. I would say that, sure, you could say that you should have moved that, was it the Exalted character there in the right position. At the same time, you mentioned that, and he could have adjusted it, and from there with some cocked dices, etc.
Yeah, that's the thing. We and I take full responsibility for this. I did not clarify how I do cocked dice, but I do re-roll everything that's even slightly cocked.
And you had done that consistently through the match.
Yes, and so had he. But I felt that I would rather just give that to him, and we could have a nice game. It was my fault as well, because I didn't go into this game as happy and cheerful as I normally am. So we didn't have like the good repartee that we had in the later game.
Yeah.
Because then we started laughing, we started having fun, and things just felt nicer. And that's what I do. I make people feel nice with a good time. I'm here to win, but I'm also here to play a game I love.
For sure, because when you had these couple of things just within a time state of 1, 2, 3 minutes, you really felt that, oh, this could turn into a not so fun match. And I would actually say that the both of you cuddle up, talked it through. I know also the referee came in and said some words, but I really felt the two of you as players did that. And I also big kudos to Yohann, because I felt that he saw what you were wanting to do to make this a nice game, and I think that he was also laughing about it. You left a Nemesis Dreadnought with, what was it, one or two, one wound up there. That was also very impactful for this match. So very nice played, and I think both of you showed character on what Warhammer 40k is all about, and even with the pressure, you guys want to win. A couple of things goes not as intended, if you could say, but from there and on, it was a really nice match. Did you still feel after all those happenings that you were in a commanding win, or did you see the draw happening? Because it felt like he clawed back in a really strange way.
He didn't claw back. Since he could always deny me my 15 points, I would always end up on 40 points on primary. I would never get 50. He's always going to get 50 because he has his sticky home objectives and his big block of terms on 2 objectives. So he gets 15 every round if he wants to. And since I can't do anything about that, it's a draw. I mean, since I kill his small units and I take out the things that do objectives for him, I score well on objectives because my army does score really well on secondaries.
You go in and you stay.
And I just do secondaries because I'm good. I also was a bit lucky on drawing the right cards because we had the instance, for instance, Containment, one of the best secondaries in the game. That round I drew Containment. Both my cultist units passed their leadership test for 6 points. I had one cultist and 4 cultists who basically got me 6 points. So I was a bit lucky as well.
Let's actually try to take a pause here for the end of your game. And if I'm reading this correctly, it's a 10-10 here. But doesn't this Hugo game...
It's a blowout. We won at 17 points. So we're up by... We have 37 at the moment and they have... 12-22, so we're up by 15 points at the moment.
That's amazing, can be needed.
Yes, so hopefully.
So something that you don't know, but it's, I don't know, I feel we are a bit unlucky when we're doing this Veizla stream, is that when you are in the discussion of, let's see, I completely blanked now, of course, Johann's 5th turn, you had a big discussion on which secondaries can he draw, because it could have been that if you draw the wrong secondaries, you could have won this one.
Yes.
And then the internet of only the streaming computer flat out died, so we were in dark, we couldn't see anything going on. We thought actually it was the French support stream that went down.
Okay.
So everyone at home, like, how likely was it that he could have drawn, can we say, the wrong cards from his perspective and the right card from your perspective?
Not likely.
Not likely.
He needed to draw. He needed a 4 point to draw because we ended up. He needed just 4 points to draw the game.
76-73. No. What did you end on?
76-73 to me, yeah. So basically, he needed a 4 point, and he had several things. He had Air Denial, he had Cleanse, he had loads of things just giving him 4 points. He could never win. He could never draw enough points to win, but he could just draw it. And he drew 2 bad cards and redraw into Air Denial, which basically is... Because if you saw that, I moved my entire arm of objectives. I just walked away from things because he couldn't kill us, he couldn't assassinate, he couldn't like do things that gave him that much points. So I just walked away and actually drew the kill on objectives. It's like, oh, it's a dead card. And then he drew Defense Stronghold. There's Magnus standing on your Defense Stronghold. You can't do that. And he redrew that into Air Denial, which was 5 points, and that drew the game.
So you did everything you could, Kalle. We could say a small mistake, but to be honest, I think Yohann also played a couple of mistakes over there. So yeah, I think it was a fair game to draw, correct?
Yeah, I mean, they had it as a win in their matrix. I have it as an 11-9, so it's a very drawish. And it's basically on this mission where his big brick of termites can get so much leverage on 2 objectives. I mean, if he has to go in the middle, my entire army ganks him. But if he plays up here and I play down here, I will never catch him, because the strength of Grey Knights is that you place your entire army against a small portion of the enemy's army every single round. Whereas even though I'm Thousand Suns, I cannot move that far with my entire army. Magnus can. I mean, you saw my Magnus move?
Yeah, it was just swinging around. And what was it? Was it when you had your Ari man top left, and then you actually made some comment? Hey, I'm Thousand Suns, I'm supposed to do anything. And then what was it that you felt suddenly as limitation with your army?
The limitation was that I was only able to move 24 inches, and I needed to move 26.
That's an amazing one. We actually need to just go into the pairing here. We haven't updated this one. We will do it very momentarily. But one thing we can see that I guess this is actually Hugo, and we had Jesper on stream, and we have seen that Jesper knocked him out with 17-3.
Yes.
Jesper has played, as we expected, extremely strong on Dark Angels, but at the same time, Hugo has been super hyped. I think maybe Aldari seems to have been a bit over... people have thought it would be so good. Liam have failed on it. Now Hugo only takes 3 points here.
Yep.
What can you say about Jesper, Dark Angels, Aldari?
Jesper is a fantastic player, and on this mission he will basically lock down his objectives, and he will just punish the Eldari for everything they do. And they don't play a good game into this because they cannot kill his Deathwing Knights.
Do you think they had a completely misunderstanding of the matchup?
I don't think they actually did. I think they actually just threw him under the bus, because there's loads of lists that could not face our Jesper. Jesper is it's a really good list, especially when you play as well as Jesper does.
And I think we also can see here that Matt, that must be, let's see, we go back to this one. It must be Matt Bonnet, right? That can be the only Matt there is. And we actually can see that Matt Bonnet, who is the #1 player coming into this round, haven't dropped a single point, 80-0, facing Sweden's best point taker Sebastian Larsson in what I would say is a hard matchup for Sebastian.
Yes.
And it seems like Sebastian only dropped with 8-12. Isn't that amazing if that is the reality here?
Yeah, that would be really good, actually.
I think I'm reading out here that Matt Tanker, that must be Matt Bonnet. Don't you think so?
Probably.
And here we also have Björn Eriksson. I didn't catch up on actually the result here, but they're coming in as we go. Can Sweden win this one too?
Well, of course, yes, we might win this. We hope we win this. It all depends on the next game coming in. We had, like I said, we had loads of points, and maybe, hopefully, it all comes down to the last couple of games.
For sure, and as I understand it, that this match between Björn's Imperial Knights versus Oliver Weiss, Black Templar, I think has performed the second best in the tournament coming into this round.
Yes.
Black Templar not being hyped. I think he's the only Black Templar player, but he seems to have found an army list that actually is scary. But I just got the information. Björn has drawn this match, and that must be really good for you guys. Björn continuing just being the bus thrower, and he took down Oliver, arguably French best player?
One of the best players in France, of course. And I think they underestimate our list here, because everyone underestimates the Imperial Knights. And he just thought, oh, I'll go in and kill them. We did the math on it. No, you don't. We kill you first, because we shoot a lot more than you. You cannot hide. And he just shoots a unit to death every single turn. If he gets charged with Carnage, he just kills all the characters.
Yeah, but do see that they still have the propeller hat backwards. That means that Carnage Rex did move in the end of the game.
Yes. Cap backwards means he's on kill streak now.
No, but fantastic having Björn Eriksson on the Imperial Knights, his first WTC. You, Kalle, this is your 7th, I think.
Something like that.
You have been delivering, but Björn, what can you say? Like, isn't that impressive?
It's so impressive, and I mean, no one rates Imperial Knights. I didn't either for a long time until we actually played a couple of games, and I realized they are really good, and they're really good at doing the things people don't understand. Going through walls with Carnage, he has such a long threat range. He kills whatever he gets his hands on. his hand of freedom on.
All right, thank you so much for this insight. Do you want to go and ship because you had a really long game, or do you want to stay and see the results coming in as we go?
Yeah, I can stay and have a little look here. Why not? I have my beer and I'm happy. So I'll sleep a bit at least. At least the next guy comes over.
Maybe we can ask Elias to start to updating our matching pairing sheet if it's possible as the results are coming in. We would do our best to keep you guys on track. But we're following the French primary stream here. And this is Oliver on this Black Templar. And he has just drawn against Björn. And you can see his result. 20-0, 13-7, 19-1, 20-0. But when he met the Imperial Knights from Björn Eriksson Team Sweden, it was a draw 10-10.
If you look at it as well, Björn is 1 point away from winning.
Wow.
Yes, it is a 77-72, so it's actually so close to a win for Björn.
And that's what we could see, that many of these matches we heard from your head coach, Yohann Norman, that the match, let's say 40-45 minutes left, about when you finished yours, was really, really close. And almost he was saying both teams are nervous right now because it's really down to the wire. And these things are the things that will matter in the end. Could maybe Yohann have drawn the wrong secondaries? Could Björn get one more point? This is Warhammer. We can do what if to eternity. I think that is the main word for Warhammer in general. Doesn't matter. The result speaks for themselves. The one who wins in this spot on this day, they are the ones going in for tomorrow, potentially being the gold medalists.
Yes, I mean, if we draw this, we might draw this, of course. But if we draw this, I think Poland has a straight shot for the throne, because I assume Poland are winning this game, the game they're playing.
I haven't looked into it, but I assume so too.
Yes, and then they are going to be undefeated. I don't know who else are undefeated at that point.
There was only the France, Sweden, and Poland. So you are correct. It's the two of you draw. Poland is in the commanding lead, but not sure. It should be that they will play against France then.
Yes, then they probably play against France, and we face whoever comes up next, which might be Australia if they win, because Australia did draw their final game, their first game today.
And it is interesting that Australia with the tournaments are doing good, but I still want to emphasize on, if we haven't misunderstood the French stream points, this is very tight, and I still think either it's a draw or a Swedish win. I have a hard time seeing the swing back that it would be a French win, given that Jesper did a full blowout with 17-3, and given that Sebastian were able to stop their main player, Matt Bonnet. Let's see here, maybe we can even go over to this one to see it in a bigger for, let's say we are not young and fresh, Kalle.
If we're looking at this though, it actually doesn't look that good for Sweden, because we have the points in already, and we have Drukari on not that many points. We have Abrahamsson in a dominating lead, and we have another draw. So even though with Jesper's blowout, it might not be that good. We'll see.
You think it's a possibility that France can win this one?
If we look at these points that we have on the French stream at the moment, I'm not saying that they are winning, but Axel's Drukari is down by a lot.
And I expected that's a hard matchup. I mean, you are a Necron specialist yourself.
Yeah.
Drukari, they can probably do some big damage, but it feels like they can't avoid the damage of Necrons. Against others, we saw Axel playing tremendously well against the German Tyrannid player.
Yeah.
But I don't see that he can do the same against Necrons.
I mean, to be perfectly honest, if we are in turn 4, I don't know who's going first and going second, but that is looking like a 20-0 at the moment. Even with Axel not scoring his points yet, it's still going to be tough to claw back from that.
100%. I mean, it's a very commanding lead. And, but with the Necrons, isn't this almost impossible task for Axel.
Nothing is impossible for Axel.
That's true.
That's true. We did play we have played practice games with Drukari versus Necrons, and it's not it's not a good game. But on this mission, we felt that maybe there's a chance.
Gotcha.
And by a chance, I mean maybe we can do it. And we tried, and we'll see how. It's not over. I mean, we might be looking at secret missions. We might be looking at other things. We might be looking at loads and loads of secondaries at the end. I mean, it goes 15 points per 15 points per turn. So if he has like 5 points per primary, he takes a secondary, he gets 35 more points, and then scores secondaries 2 turns. Who knows?
That's true, and I think that the secret mission part spices up a bit. Maybe it's hard for the followers at home to fully understand it, but it's really, if something goes wrong, that's the best way to swing back.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, here we have the still arguably the best player in this tournament point-wise, Matt Bonnet. Have you faced him before?
No, I've never met
Is he a
him.
recognized player?
Yeah, he's recognized. I've never faced him personally. I've played France 3 times and I never faced Matt. But I mean, look at this. He 20-0 Manishima with blood needles. Manishima just went and won the World Cup last year. He has, I don't know, Niklas with Orcs. Yeah, no, Niklas with Orcs, but yeah, okay. Orcs is probably a bad matchup. I don't know who Joshua from Wales is, and I don't know who Alexis from Portugal are, but the first pod games, maybe don't take too much from them. The Manishima game, though, yes, 20-0 against one of the world's best players.
All right. Thank you so much here, Kalle. I mean, how are you enjoying this one? Of course, now it's a bit, I mean, you look super cool. You're not even nervous, which I can't understand, because inside me, I'm fairly stressed, because I do want to know the results in if Sweden can make a draw, might lose, might win, everything is at stake. But how are you feeling?
I am always good, man. I have played my game to almost my best ability, and the most important thing is you bounce back. I made a mistake. I can't beat myself up about it, because we have 2 more games, and those 2 more games, that's what decides where we end up. This game, of course, but this game is over for me.
Yeah, I mean, you can literally not do anything.
I can only spectate and hope that my teammates will carry the fact that I did something bad.
So, no, but I mean, you did do a draw.
Yeah.
And maybe it should have been a win, but I would say also a draw was really good here. But looking right now, with the finished games, it is 56-44, but we do know that Axel Rydén has a really hard time right now against the Necrons of Arenad. We know that Olof Svensson with his Votan against Clement Death Guard probably will be a draw. It looks very tight there. I had hoped that Olof maybe could squeeze out a bit more. I would have assumed that that's a pretty good matchup.
They've all actually, it looks like they're already done there with an 11-9 to the Death Guard.
Oh, that's locked in. So Olof did lose some points there in the end.
I mean, it's 11-9. It's still a draw. 5 points up, 5 points down is a draw. So it will basically be decided on our last 2 players, the Demons versus Asmataram and the Drukari versus Necrons, which unfortunately looks quite favored for them.
Yeah. So if we should do some quick math, it should be 2 points down. It should be that with Olof's 9 points going up then to 65, correct? And then it should be the French going up to 55. So that should mean then that we have a deficit of 7 plus 5, 8 points.
8 points for the draw.
Can I be right? I feel tired.
Let's take it again. Let's just
Olof
look at
did get 9 points.
9 points. So we're
up
at
to
65 and they get 55. So there's 10 points difference at the moment.
10 points difference at the moment. If we then say that Joe Larsson can make a draw, as an example.
Yes.
Then it's 10 points difference.
Then if Joel draws, then we have a draw already. We need 10 points from our last 2 games to draw this. We need 20 points, 21 points to win.
So what you're saying is that if Joel Larsson can get 7 points, as an example, and Axel can get 3 points, it's a draw.
Yes.
All right, so it's all up to Joel Larsson and to Axel. We know Axel is in really bad shape right now, but didn't Joel Larsson have somewhat that was very close, like 56 right now?
No, Joel is down a bit. He was down like, I think 20, so it's a 14-6 at the moment. I think it was something like that last time they had it on. I'm not really sure, and I won't take poison on that one though. But Joel is a resourceful player, and if he goes second, if he maybe has a secret mission, who knows what happens.
For sure. I mean, Chaos Demons versus Admech. What can we say? How if you would just guess how that match has been looking like, can the Admech really take away all the great unclean ones, the battle cores, etc.?
I think that his opponent plays Astra Militarum, not Admech.
Oh, sorry, you are completely right.
And Astra Militarum for sure can take away the big nasty things. They have their Rogel Dawn battle tanks, which shoots a lot.
And can do great damage even to the greater demons.
To the greater demons to some extent. The thing is, they have to be within 18 to do so. And you don't want to be too close with those tanks, because you don't get charged. The main thing that list has is the 18 Bullgryns, which are basically walking slabs of muscle, and they just tank things. And if Joel doesn't get through them quick enough, it's a problem.
Wow, I mean, we would have assumed against the, can we say, Imperial Knights, Imperial Guards, that Joel's Bellacore could protect his army and then he come in swinging with a greater unclean one. But it might be so that that's just too big of a task for the greater demons.
Maybe. I mean, it's not the great demons who does all the heavy lifting in Joel's list. It's the small things.
The Bloodletters and the Blood Crushers.
And the Blood Crushers. They are the ones that kill things. And they should really just remove the Ogre blocks from the table. Because they hit so hard. They hit like a brick and then some. But we don't know what happened. Maybe Joel has had a bad pull of secondaries. Maybe he has something else that just happens.
Yeah, you are actually right. It seems at the very moment that the Frenchman, Nicolas, is having a 71-41 point lead at turn 3, which means that they must be really short on time. And we haven't seen Axel clawing back yet. Is still in turn 4 with a 24 versus 72. That's really hard. It looks grim right now.
It might actually look quite grim, and it might come down to the fact that we may have misunderstood a pairing, and that is then the Axel versus Necron pairing. And that we had that as a lower pairing before going into this, and we actually pulled it up because we thought that he could do good things. And yeah, maybe just it didn't happen.
Could be so. At this very moment, it's 12 minutes, 30 seconds left in this round. Would you say that when this goes to 0, the game is over, correct?
That is correct.
So for our very good friend, especially Joel right now, it seems like he is really down on time if they are on turn 3.
It might not just be him.
Both players.
Yes, but they will have to play fast if that is the case. It really looks like...
Should we try to look in actually if we can see the two players here? We're having Joel here on the left. We can see almost everyone in both teams are standing around there. It's only you, Kalle, who are with us here from the Veizla stream.
Yeah.
We can see Joel, he's playing fast. That's 100% sure that he's playing fast there. It's movement, it's action. The other one, let's see if we can also see maybe Axel here. Is there something interesting that you can see here?
Yes, the mainstream has Poland, and they have, I'm just looking at the scores, because I think every score is reported.
You can probably see it here, my friend. Maybe even if Poland and Spain have finished their game.
It's not reported yet.
It's not reported. So we go in here and then we will see if we can get Poland's result, because it do matters a lot for Sweden. Kalle is calculating.
It's a draw. Poland draws.
And that's good news for Team Sweden.
That's good news for Team Sweden. That if we draw, yes. If we lose, then yes. Would you like to jump on the stream for a bit, JP? Would you like to jump into the stream and have a chat?
All right, Jesper, we are right now watching from this positioning.
Fantastic.
We know that it's Joey Larsson with Chaos Demons under tremendous pressure. Seems like he is 20 points or something like that behind. I actually can't see Axel. Maybe he's more to the left here. Yeah, there we have Axel in the cap. Seems like a big blowout in Necron's favor, leading somewhere like 72 versus 24. Do you think that Axel maybe pulled a secret mission and can crawl back, or do you think it's really brutal?
I sure hope so. I mean, to be honest, I can't stand watching these players with their 3 minutes left on the clock, so I just bought a beer and went away.
You get too stressed.
Yes, that stresses me quite a bit.
But Axel, he is used to being low on time. He normally likes to clock out when it's a couple of seconds left.
He's low on time in his entire life, so...
He's the Mr. Yes Man.
Yeah.
This is the current... We haven't updated Olof Svensson's score here.
Yeah.
Olof was really close to draw it, but did lose 9-11. That means that Sweden in this very moment is 10 points. It needs to get 10 more points to get a draw. But it seems that Axel will get very few points. And it seems like Joel will struggle to get more than 6-7 points. What can you speak? Maybe we should talk a bit about your game, but the overall.
Yeah,
because that's
from what I understand,
right
their predictions is that their combined score is going to be a 10. But we'll see. We'll see.
That's the current standing when you last talked with the team.
That's what the coaches have told me, so...
That would be fantastic, because we have just seen Poland and Spain have drawn. That means that if France and Sweden is drawn, these 4 teams who are 4 wins and 1 draw.
That is true, yeah.
And that would be really great. All right, let's just talk very quickly about the overall pairing. How did you feel? You guys coming into it, and when you were through the pairing process?
I mean, our pairings were like a prediction of 94 or something. Like, we had a really high pairing. Obviously, that didn't work out. I don't know really why.
So 94 is that you would take 94 points?
Correct, yeah.
And that was what you thought coming in, or after the pairing?
After the pairing.
After the pairing?
Yeah. So I guess we'll have to evaluate what happened. But that was the initial score, yeah.
Understood. And we can say here that Sebastian Larsson, being the strongest player together with you from Team Sweden point-wise, did go up against the beast, Matt Bonnet on Chaos Space Marines. He has taken 80-0. You throw him under bus and he has delivered. I mean, you must be kind of happy with 8 points from him, right?
I guess. I mean, once again, Sebastian is our beast, so I expect him to do well as well.
Gotcha. So you would have loved him to always get more points, but you thought it would be even more than this?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Our estimation was that he would win that game. But CK has enough firepower to actually handle the blobs, but yeah, obviously.
And if we look from the bottom with Olof Svensson on Wotan versus Clement on Death Guard, I would assume that Wotan could take a bit more. Death Guard is not the strongest.
Yeah.
Wotan should match up good versus this.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm a bit surprised. He did get the table choice as well, but it is what it is. I guess perhaps we get diced or whatever.
Yeah, I think that match was 10-10, and then in the very end squeezed over in France's favor. We followed Kalle's match versus Yohann. Kalle started very strong. It looked like a commanding lead. It was maybe some misplay, but then also Yohann, I would say, maybe wasn't lucky, but it swung back. And I think it was just some points away. Yeah, the last secondary from Yohann, who went second. If he would have drawn a 4-point, it would have been a win for Kalle. But I also think that Kalle threw away 5 points on the primary out of a kind of big mistake, to be honest. He was not happy with it himself.
Yeah, the trick there is to just, take your lashings and move on.
Yeah, Exactly. And then we have Jonathan, who, as I understood, with his sisters faced Alexandre on 1,000 Suns. That match didn't start good at all, and that Jonathan clawed back into a lead.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I mean, it's a close matchup, and like both sisters and Thousand Suns are such high skill armies, so it's very interesting to see, and I'm happy with that result for sure.
Yeah, you must be, and I think Jonathan, he has redeemed himself after that AdMech match against Iceland.
Absolutely,
Right.
10 whippings.
Yeah.
10 lashes.
Yeah, but he deserved that, but he also deserves the credit. He shows a strong mental strength coming back from that one. Björn Eriksson, the bus thrower, going up against Oliver's Black Templar. I think it's the only Black Templar army in this one.
Yep.
And I thought that this one would be super hard for Björn. He going into a draw must be good for you guys.
Yeah. The thing there, they're like we really did the math here, and we were quite convinced that he wouldn't get run over.
Yeah.
We were quite scared about it, and really spent a lot of time during lunch thinking about it. But we were, in the end, convinced that it was a fine matchup for him. So we stopped. I think it was like maybe full 20 O's as well, that army. So I guess we should be quite happy with that at 10-10.
To me, it sounds great, and I think I had hoped that could also potentially open up some other draws. But Joe Larsson is still playing. We should see it should be finished any minute from now. But yourself, continuing delivering. I think now, especially Sebastian did lose his match versus Bad Monet. You are Sweden's best player when it comes to the points. Of course, playing Dark Angels, amazing. And you must have loved it versus Eldari, because Eldari seems to not going so well, even though Hugo is a very strong player, very hyped, especially from Klasse, who's been commentating here with us from Veizla. Was it easy peasy lemon squeezy? it looks so when we see the results here.
Yeah, no, I mean, to be honest, we did test that list quite a bit, like not exactly, but quite close to it. And
yeah, we all get distracted here, but we actually, the mainstream from France can have a nice picture here. If they can take it down a bit, I think they don't think about the graphics here between Joel Larsson and, is it Arnaud?
No, that's Axel. It's the scoring is from Axel versus the...
Yeah, of course. Sorry.
Odd.
Sorry, I interrupted you when you were
Yeah,
talking
we'll
about
just continue. I'm just getting stressed looking at it. So no, no, but focus on my game. Let's focus on me for once.
Yeah.
Finally. No. I mean, I've played 1,000 trillion million games against Axel, playing usually some kind of Eldari, and he's really like a rodent. He keeps on surviving with the small units, making plays with them, so I'm extremely used to it. So I know how to, grenade one unit, shoot another, charge the third, and just keep kicking his ass with Space Marines. So I'm quite used to that, like overall strategically. So I'm quite comfortable in the matchup, and I'm quite convinced that I have the tools against it as well. He almost clocked out, so everything, like, I did go first, which is not very good, but still some dice helped me in the end as well for like the bigger win. But yeah, I'm quite used to the matchup.
But we have been unlucky with what's happening now. Twitch ads, we don't need to show that double. But I mean, we have been a bit unlucky going first in some of the parts. That has made maybe some matches closer. But when you face Hugo, what do you think his prediction was? Did they think they're gonna win against you?
I really didn't learn. I would have loved to ask them, but I guess I can ask afterwards. I don't see how he could predict it as a win. Probably like an optimistic draw, I would say, but that's not real. I mean,
or maybe they threw him under the bus against you and just had hoped that he could perform a bit better.
Yeah, maybe. But I was like, my attitude going into the game is I'm just gonna wreck this guy.
And how was? I mean, this is a gentleman's sport. We shouldn't talk so much about like the fearful competition part, but when you started, was it a nice feeling, and then when the further it went, he changed his attitude, or
No.
did he realize what was going on, or?
Yeah, he did. I mean, there's always the point where people understand that they're losing. That it's the true test of character. But I think he managed it well after some time. He was very nice. I mean, the French, in general, are very, very nice opponents.
This French team and the stream, amazing.
Absolutely, yeah. And they're still remembering that it's a hobby. I mean, for them, it's quite high stakes with the amount of sponsorship and viewership that they get. So I think it's great to see. And they're truly an example for the rest of the community, compared to some other teams, especially.
I do want to say though, it got a bit spicy between Kalle and Yohann, and it was some parts that maybe Kalle did things that he should have communicated a bit better.
Yeah.
He did say he took it on himself.
Yeah.
At the same time, I think that Kalle really solved it.
Yeah.
Okay, this is
Not fantastic.
interesting. Right now it says 87-68. And what would that mean in points for Yohann?
That would be at 19 points diff, so 13-7, I think.
13-7.
Yeah. No, 12-8.
And then Axel needs to take 2 points.
Yeah.
Can he do that?
He better do. But he's a bit of a pessimist as well, so yeah.
Yeah, but we saw the scoring was 72-24.
Yeah.
So if he hasn't pulled, do you think Axel is pulling the secret mission?
I
If
don't
you
know.
are in that type of situation.
I mean, it's always a question of whether you can achieve it or not. I mean, obviously he's extremely behind on points, so I don't see how he possibly could cap out on 40. So I would assume that he goes for it if there's some kind of realistic chance.
And then what happens then is that he gets 20 points on primary. If he succeeds, he gets 40 points.
What do we have?
No, his max cap becomes 40. That's it.
In total.
Yeah.
And what would a 72-40 be?
A 72-40 would be 32 points diff, so you ignore the last, and then it would be 4 points for X.
So what you're saying is that the French Necron player needs to take...
No, 18-2, sorry. So what did I say? 42 points diff.
Yeah, we have seen that the Necron player had 72 points. And if you say that Axel completes his secret mission, but isn't still scoring secondaries?
Of course.
Yeah. So potentially he hadn't taken any primaries. We see it here. Well, we can see he's taken 5 primaries.
Yeah.
So that means that he has taken 19 secondaries.
Yeah.
Which could mean that he goes out to 59, and if he has 59 and the French has 72, that sounds good, right?
Yep.
We really hope for a secret mission.
Yeah.
I just need to go over here and check how much is the time even left. Is there? There's an overtime of 2 minutes. What does this mean? Is that like they can still potentially play?
Yeah, I mean, that's been quite odd about how it's been enforced or not, because the last game they drew over quite a bit, so I don't know if like judges have paused the clock or whatever. So it's hard to tell what the implications are, to be honest. It very much depends on what happened and what didn't happen.
And I know you said that you rather just can we say check out when you've done your match, but
Yeah.
if you want to go over with your teammates and be there, feel free. You don't need to sit around, or if you want to stay with us here over at Veizla,
Yeah.
see the
I
wrap-up of
probably
this one.
want to run over a bit.
I would do that
Can't
too if I
handle it
were you.
anymore. Yeah.
Please do so. Thank you so
Thank you
much,
so much.
Jesper, for coming in.
See you soon.
Let's go, Axel. All right. He didn't show it, but I could feel it. And he's smiling when he's taking his beer, walking over to his teammates. Jesper has done a phenomenal WTC up to this point. The best Swedish player by far when it comes to points. And he, in this game, took 17-3. Right now, it's very undecisive. How is the match going between Axel Rudén and Arnaud Alot? Do we have a result? And this will basically come down. Has Axel Rudén pulled the secret mission, and can he finish that one? And can he make sure that the Necron player haven't got too many more points? It's a lot of if and but. We did see a picture there, and it looked like actually it's quite a lot of units on the table. But it's you know, your prediction is as good as my prediction. Let's see here. And feel free, everyone commentating or reviewing this match, if you have any insights, if you have any questions, feel free to ask it on the twitch.tv/Veizla, because this is really, really intense right now. So between Joel Larsson and let's see, I'm gonna try to get some information here even more in our spreadsheet, but I think the best we can do is stay on the French mainstream here, because they are doing exactly what I'm doing at this very moment, I guess. Or maybe they're trying to calculate what will a draw and what will a win mean. We have a result, my friends. We do have a result. Axel Rudén has taken 6 points, and Joel Larsson, he has taken... How many points have Joel Larsson taken? I think it was 6 points. It is a Swedish win. Is that correct? It's a draw. It is a draw, my friends. We are in for the lead right now. Oh my God. I didn't think that Axel would do it, but he clawed back. He took the 6 points.
Oh my God, that's
please
such a
tell
relief.
us more here, Elias.
Oh my God, it's such a relief. And Poland, Spain drew.
Yeah.
There's no undefeated teams anymore.
It's no defeated teams. But tell me, you were down there at Camp Sweden. Can you give us some insights? Can you say what happened? Did Axel Rudén play a secret mission or not?
I actually weren't there for that, to be fair. Sorry. I got stuck talking to Adam Camilleri from the War Games Live show.
Oh my God, Elias. Now, for the first time in this WTC 2024, you do make us disappointed. But
so
it's
sorry.
okay, because we are really happy with Axel Rudén and Joel Larsson's performance.
Oh my God, this is so good. Oh.
We have a draw. Sweden is on the same points as France, at the same points as Poland, at the same points as Spain.
Yeah.
4 wins, 1 draw, 0 losses. No losses. Axel Rudén once again crawls back. It looked impossible.
Oh my God, this is so good.
All right, let's try to wrap this one up and get in the final points here. I gotta say, this is something extraordinary when we have such a hard match going up, and Axel Rudén taking 6 points from a 72-29 deficit. I can't almost believe it.
Yeah, the only way he claws it back that much in the final 2 rounds, if he pulls a secret mission, I believe he did.
It must have been almost.
It must have been a secret mission. I don't believe there's any way for him to claw that back otherwise.
And let's see here, what was actually, it's not in here what Joe Larsson got, and I forgot it. I think he got 8 points, right? Let's see here, maybe the mainstream can give us the information. Or maybe anyone in the chat, can you give us actually the final point score for Joel? I think that he...
It is 13... It's 7-13 to France.
Merci à toi, Philippe. Je vais enchaîner tout de suite avec Achan et son adversaire.
Okay, so let's update that one.
Yes, les amis, je reprends la main juste le temps que Laurent justement puisse réceptionner Achan. Pareil, les gars, faut quand même les remercier. Je rappelle que ici on ne parle pas de joueurs professionnels.
And that's a mighty performance, given that it seemed really, really grim. All right.
But yeah, this is a draw. This is so good for us.
Should we do a quick calculation here then for Team Sweden? 17-24.
34.
34,
40.
40, 51, 61, 70, 78. And that should make it pretty easy to calculate what France got.
They should have gotten an 82?
82. All right, let's pull this up for you guys at home here. This is amazing. I thought that Sweden was ahead, turned out that Sweden was behind, and then somehow crawled back to it. Amazing. And we do see our Axel Rudén in picture, but let's go over to this one, because this one is looking great.
Yeah.
This is amazing that Sweden can draw this one. Wow.
Yeah, considering how close this match was, and the absolute walloping we took on some of the tables, for them to claw that back, it's so good.
All right, we also have the opportunity to get Sammy, the coach, in here, and I can say he has used everything, all energy ever, and somehow you don't even do anything.
No, I know. It's weird.
Tell us about this match, or just tell us about the end.
The end was intense. I can tell you that much. As you see, we ended up in a draw, 79 to 81, 1 point swing from a perfect draw. But they played really well, as expected, to be fair. We were pretty happy about the pairings. We need to adjust some things for tomorrow and in our matrix that we misread a bit, that we haven't tested as much as we hope we should have. But we basically, the last two tables that got reported was the Joel Larsson's Demon table, as well as Axel Ryden with Drukari. He managed to fix his secret missions.
We expected that he had pulled the secret mission, because we could see that he had only taken 5 primaries and had, I think, 24 secondaries. But we didn't know, and somehow Axel Rudén, from what we can know now, a bad matchup, did take 6 points.
Yeah, and
that was more than what we needed.
Yeah, that it was. But also to the French streaming guys, they forgot to update that table. So he had a few more primaries, not much, but some. So that's why I can jump up to the 6, because I saw the real paper and the stream table tablet. Oh,
you need to run.
I need to run, sadly.
Thank you so much. Give me just the last. Joel Larsson.
Great game. Didn't really went his way, and as he's wanted to have, like, how he wanted to play the game, but still came out in a 7. Everyone played really well.
But no one timed out. It was still just down to the wire.
Axel had 24 seconds left on the clock when
Axel Rudén, 24 seconds, bring in 6 points, making a draw. Congratulations, Sammy. Congratulations, Team Sweden. We are in the lead. There is 4 teams right now. 4 wins, 1 draw.
Yeah, exactly.
This is
super
amazing.
Exciting. It's going to be a fun WTC this year. It's going to be rough, and it's going to be fun, and we're looking forward to tomorrow.
As expected.
See you then.
Good luck, Team Sweden. Thank you so much. Wow, you could hear it here from Sammy, the coach of Team Sweden. Axel Rudén, with 24 seconds on the clock, were able to score these 6 points with a secret mission. And Joel Larsson, he didn't get the game he wanted, but he crawled back from it. So, amazing show. Hey, Elias, I don't know really what to say.
Me neither, then, except I need a drink.
I think we all are deserving a drink or so. But I do want to say to everyone back in Sweden and on the internet, maybe we even should. This is maybe not the smartest idea, but we do put on a face camera also here. Hey everyone.
Hello.
This was more intense than I could ever imagine it could be.
This was more intense than the German game, where we were all standing around Olof's table just waiting for the score, and then he was like, "I got a 7." Everyone just erupted.
Yeah,
this was so on the wire.
As we say in Swedish, gastkramande. Now, but to be honest, Team Sweden, they were not as close as it felt. If we see here, France actually needed to get 4 more points.
They needed to get 4 more points. They didn't get the 4 more points. It's still a draw.
It is a draw. We were afraid that Joe Larsson maybe would lose some points, and it for a while looked like Axel Rodén would go with 0 points. But he pulled the secret mission. He crawled back with 6 points. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And we're going to be honest also here that if Kalle could have taken some more points, if Sebastian could have taken some more points, it didn't matter. Sweden needed a lot more points, actually needed to get 2 + 6, 8 more points. This was a great performance by Team Sweden, giving that I think they did some mistakes in the pairings.
Yeah. And a very important thing to note here though is that Poland also drew. There is no undefeated left. So everything is in chaos now.
Yeah, let's just, before we fully wrap up here, just update Best Coast pairings and check in exactly where we are. So in this very moment, we have France on number 1 spot, Australia 2nd spot, Sweden 3rd spot, Poland 4th. And I actually think this means that Sweden will face Poland tomorrow.
Yeah, it means Sweden will face Poland, which should mean that we should be, hopefully we will be able to stream on our setup, but we don't know yet.
And I don't think, I think that actually this is updated. Still, Matt Bonnet, who Sebastian Larsson faced, Sebastian Larsson, the first one to take points from him, is in the lead overall. We actually have Pavel
Kuker.
From Team Poland on Space Wolf in 2nd place. We have William Furryman from the Switzerland. He's doing a great tournament. He won all his matches on League of Voten also. Yeah. That's impressive. Then we have Jesper on Dark Angels in 4th place representing Team Sweden. That is the top 4 players right now.
Yeah.
All right. Should we say anything last words, or should we just say thank you and
see you tomorrow?
And see you tomorrow. We're starting 1 hour earlier. It will be at 8:30 that the matches start. So make sure to get to bed pretty early, because tomorrow it will be super early, super intense. That's when the WTC 2024 will win. Will it be Sweden, France, Spain, or Poland, or Australia?
Yeah.
We will see tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Goodbye.